Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Energy Connects podcast in the run-up to International Women's Day. I'm your host Chiranjib Sengupta, and today we are celebrating the women leaders who are helping drive the energy industry forward. And to talk more about that, I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Carole Nakhle, the CEO of Crystol Energy. Thank you so much, Dr. Carole, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for having me with you.
And to start off, with your unique breadth of experience across the industry and multiple stakeholders, can you tell us that exactly how male-dominated is the energy industry? And is that a perception that you have seen change in the recent years?
Well, it's a very simple answer. It is very male-dominated. And I've been in this industry for more than 2 decades. And of course, it has changed a lot compared to when I first joined the industry. We see a stronger movement, especially after the UN's publication of the Sustainable Development Goals. We saw lots of movement supporting female participation in the energy industry, particularly on oil and gas industry, mushrooming, and companies revisiting their HR policies, their promotion policies. And we are seeing more and more women becoming more visible in the industry. But we still, because we're starting from a very low base, we still have a long way to go. Because if you look around at the leadership level, at the executive level, this is where the representation of women is very meager. Look at the ministerial level as well. I mean, how many female energy ministers you find, not in just in particular region, but all around the world, or the CEOs of major energy companies. So it's pretty much a male-dominated world. It is changing, but I think the pace of change is very slow. And we are starting from a very low base, so we need to double and triple and quadruple the effort to really make a difference. Now, there is one point here to highlight. So at the time when the industry is finally ready to change, and it is adopting some change, so again, I repeat that they need to do it much faster. We were not sure whether there would be sufficient female talent out there for an industry which is perceived as dying. So there is here more effort to be done from the energy industry side, which is to give the confidence to these women and men alike. I mean, all the talented people outside, regardless of their gender, that this industry still has many years to go and decades to go, and they can have a successful career and they can shape the future of the industry for decades to come.
That's an excellent point, and thank you for putting it in the context, and especially in what does it mean for the long term, like you said, the development of talent. And apart from being the CEO of Crystol Energy, you are also the founder of Access for Women in Energy. So could you talk to us about that, and how does it help support the development of women in the energy industry?
I'm very proud of Access for Women in Energy, which I started in 2007, so really long time ago. And it was based on my own observations and experiences in the energy industry, where I used to attend many meetings and I would be the only woman. And I will not go through the stories of discrimination just based on gender. It's really not something I like to focus on. But it was a simple observation for which I did not find a justification, like why there weren't other women, for example, in the same room where I was sitting, or when I would go to big conferences, you would see endless panels of male-dominated speakers and hardly any female participation. And this was not really something too sophisticated to say, oh, we don't have the expertise. Even on the most basic topics, which are accessible to everyone, we wouldn't have that representation. So that's why I thought, okay, let me try to set up a group, a non-for-profit organization that identifies that talent, those female experts around the world, and bring them to that table, to that dialogue. Now, since we started, our motto is to focus not on women-related issues. There are many other organizations out there who are doing a great job in promoting a woman and the challenges they are facing, among other things. But we wanted to give an equal platform to men and women alike, so who can speak with great expertise about a timely energy-related topic. And therefore, you wouldn't really focus on the gender. The gender did not matter anymore. It is that female speakers, experts, professionals are out there, but we had to put the effort to identify them and give them that equal platform as their male counterparts. And I have to say that at the beginning, we were not successful. So we did have events where we still were male-dominated. But then gradually, those male participants started helping us to identify female experts in their organizations and outside, and gradually we were able to achieve our target of having 50-50 representation of female and male on our panels and in our participation and membership.
That's a fantastic journey. And I'll just circle back to your point earlier about the industry being in flux. And we constantly talk about a just energy transition. Now, can that also be a catalyst for bringing in more gender equity and diversity across the industry? And how do you think that messaging goes across to the industry? Like, how can the industry benefit from better diversity?
Absolutely. I mean, what is a just energy transition? It simply means, it's very, very basic definition. It means leave no one behind. And that is automatically implies that everyone should be involved in this energy transition, in the energy sector, in key decision making, you name it, throughout the whole supply and value chains. And this automatically means that you need to have to support the gender that has been left out largely over decades from the industry. And anyway, the energy transition is a very complex mega trend that is shaping every single aspect of our modern life. We cannot meet the ambitious targets. We cannot achieve the really challenging and complex goals that we have set to save the planet from climate change by only relying on half of our population, on half of our workforce. We need every single talented men and women alike that are out there, irrespective of their background, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their color. There shouldn't be any base for selection. As long as they are passionate about the energy sector and they can make a contribution, they should all be given equal right. And somebody asked me, how do you define inclusion? Why should we support inclusion and diversity? I said, I find it really shocking that we still have to justify it and try to explain its benefits when no one, neither you nor I, nor every single person that is out there likes to be discriminated against. So why do we have to justify diversity and inclusion? It's just that from this very basic understanding that we don't like to be left behind. We don't like to be discriminated against. So it is just, for me, a part of our day-to-day life, and we should embrace it in the energy sector and in other sectors as well.
That's right. And leaving no one behind has become a very common refrain as we talk about the transition and the industry. But diving a little deep into this whole issue, what would be your message to the industry as it attracts the workforce of the future, just to ensure that all that we talked about, it does not become a mere tokenism of representation, but actually makes a difference to the industry?
Yeah, I've always believed that there is a big difference between the slogans and the words and actions on the ground. And really, we have to see, we have to focus not on what is being said, but what is being done. And this is where I would like to see more commitments from organizations. But mind you, we should not only think about it from the corporate level. It is a much broader problem than that. It's not just the responsibility of the corporates to give equal opportunities. Of course, they should be the leaders. They should send the message. But it goes all the way back to universities, to schools. Even, it goes back to the family environment. What do you expose your child to? What do you tell them they can or they cannot do? Really very simple, like the cake for a boy is different from the cake for a girl. So it's a much bigger phenomenon. And I think the energy industry can play an important part in this massive cultural and big development that encompass not only the energy industry, but everything else. But again, for the energy industry, I would like to see more real actions and not just high-level commitments and words. Because if you really want to support the development of women, let it be most visible at the leadership level, not just at the entry level or middle management.
Dr. Carole, those are really vital, important takeaways, and thank you for your fascinating insight into the world of gender equity and gender balance in the energy industry.
And thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I hope there will be a greater pursuit of this very important cause through your organization and your colleagues and your partners. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Absolutely. And wish you a very happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
Very big thank you to all of you joining us. And I'll be back with more guests from across the energy in the next episode of the Energy Connects podcast. You can always get comprehensive coverage of the energy sector at energyconnects.com. Until then, goodbye.